Tonight, a lifeline for home builders.
We are hoping that the trickle-down effect of this is going to shift our market.
The HST rebate expanded, trying to get overpriced new builds off the market. Plus, rebuilding Humber.
Everyone's very eager to see this project happen.
Momentum at City Hall to do something about the deteriorating Expressway. And champions recognized.
They're incredible. They've had quite the medical journey since they were very, very little.
The local boys and their health journey acknowledged for their resilience.
CTV News with Carlyle Fiset.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us. We begin tonight with a major housing announcement from the provincial and federal governments. It's an HST rebate, potentially worth more than $100,000 for anyone buying a newly built home. As Brian Bicknell reports, here in London, developers are excited.
It's the sound those in the industry hope to hear a lot more of soon.
Well, it's certainly something we've been advocating for a long time. Our expectation, certainly it's going to be a huge stimulus to the home market right now.
Good to see everyone.
The province has announced a new federal-provincial program to temporarily expand the HST rebate for new homes, allowing all buyers a tax rebate of up to $130,000 for a one-year period.
We will be rebating the full HST for all new homes. No matter if you're a first-time buyer, second, or a 10-time buyer, you're getting the HST deducted, valued at $1 million or less.
The maximum rebate will be available for homes valued up to $1.5 million, then proportionately scaled down. Realtors Association Chair Robin Tiller says it opens the market to those sitting on the fence about buying or those ready to scale down.
We're hoping that downsizers will take advantage of it, maybe move into something that's a little bit more suitable for their needs. That'll open up a free family space for other families. We are hoping that the trickle-down effect of this is going to shift our market because we have a lot of development sitting, waiting for the market to pick up.
Previously, the HST rebate was only available to first-time home buyers under a federal-provincial program. But according to home builders, they only make up about 5% of home buyers.
We've been sort of expecting that if nothing changes, that there's going to be severe consequences in the local economy. So this could be a huge reversal of what that's going to look like for our industry over the next number of months this year.
Kickstart the construction of 8,000 additional homes. Support up to 21,000 jobs.
The HST rebate on new homes kicks in April 1st. Brian Bicknell, CTV News.
The Expressway portion of Highbury Avenue was under City Hall's focus this week, called an atrocity because of its heaving issues and pavement cracking. As Daryl Newcomb reports, there's now momentum among councillors to rebuild the 60-year-old roadway.
You feel the bumps and you hear them along the Expressway portion of Highbury Avenue South.
It's bumpy, that's for sure.
Amelia May is among the 45,000 drivers who take the deteriorating roadway each day, a critical link between East London and Highway 401.
I work around here, so I'm very often back and forth. I take the 401 a lot.
Built in the early 1960s and most recently repaired in 2010, the buckled and heaving road requires a full rebuild, which comes as no surprise to city councillors who regularly field complaints.
If I ever don't make it to a meeting, check the potholes on Highbury, because unfortunately I've already hit a few this season.
What I would call an atrocity. So this is really good news that this is finally being done.
City Hall will spend $25.5 million to rebuild the 4-lane divided expressway over the next 2 construction seasons, including work to extend the lifespans of the overpasses at Bradley and Commissioners. The work will require a variety of lane reductions and detours in the area.
There will be obviously some detour inconveniences going kind of around Highbury, which I know will be a pain point for folks, but both those on-ramps, off-ramps, all that work really needs to get done.
Highbury is primarily made of concrete with some sections of asphalt overlay. So city staff got bids for replacing it with either concrete or asphalt.
We are getting the best bang for our buck with the asphalt bids, and in the life cycle, costing over a 50-year period.
Work will start north of Commissioners in May and continue next year south of Commissioners with a completion date of November 2027.
Humber is one of the main gateways to London. Everyone's very eager to see this project happen.
Council's anticipated to award the construction contract on March 31st. Daryl Newcomb, CTV News.
Quebec's premier is demanding the CEO of Air Canada resign, saying his English-only condolence message lacked respect for people impacted by this week's plane crash in New York. With more on the fallout and what's becoming a public relations debacle for the airline, here's Annie Bergeron-Oliver.
Hello, bonjour.
That was one of two French words spoken by Michael Rousseau in a nearly 4-minute video updating Canadians on the LaGuardia crash.
Somber day.
A unilingual message the Prime Minister said showed a lack of compassion and judgment.
We proudly live in a bilingual country, and companies like Air Canada particularly have a responsibility to always communicate in both official languages regardless of the situation. I'm very disappointed, as others are.
In a statement, Air Canada says its CEO wanted to address everyone affected and that French subtitles were used. Despite his efforts, his ability to express himself in French does not allow him to convey such a sensitive message in that language as he would wish. A decision that isn't sitting well with members of the House Official Languages Committee, who summoned Rousseau to appear by May 1st.
Unacceptable, because it's repeat the situation.
In 2021, Rousseau committed to learning French after an English-only speech before Montreal's Chamber of Commerce prompted protests and calls for his resignation, a situation that brought Rousseau before the same parliamentary committee.
I admit I made a mistake by not learning to speak French when I joined Air Canada.
Quebec's premier wants Rousseau to resign. If he still doesn't speak French today, it's a lack of respect. Experts question why Rousseau didn't try to read some prepared remarks in French.
It's non-ideal communications. It was a communications goof, but is it a PR disaster that will have lasting impact on the brand? I don't think so.
Air Canada is subject to the Official Languages Act, and so far the Office of the Commissioner of Official Languages has received more than 790 complaints. Annie Bergeron-Oliver, CTV News, Ottawa.
The crash in New York has shed light on the severe lack of air traffic controllers, not only in the U.S., but here in Canada as well. Officials with the organization overseeing our controllers have acknowledged staffing shortfalls. With more on the issues and what's being done in response, here's Heather Wright.
More than 500,000 planes take off and land at major Canadian airports every month. The safe flow of that traffic all managed by air traffic controllers.
But we are short. There's no doubt about it.
John Graddick teaches aviation management at McGill University and says there are not enough air traffic controllers working in Canada.
These jobs are stressful. These jobs are demanding, and they are, you tend to burn out quick in this type of job.
Air traffic controllers in the United States are being scrutinized after Sunday's fatal collision between an Air Canada plane and a fire truck at New York's LaGuardia Airport. The U.S. National Transportation Safety Board says it's too early in its investigation to determine exactly what happened. NAV Canada, which certifies and hires air traffic personnel in Canada, acknowledged it is, quote, managing workforce pressures, but declined to say how many people it is short. The organization traces its staffing challenges back to the pandemic, when air travel shut down and many controllers were laid off or took early retirement. Training classes were also disrupted. We are actively addressing staffing through a comprehensive multi-year strategy focused on recruitment, training, and retention, NAV Canada said in a statement. The agency says in 2024-2025, staffing growth exceeded attrition by 26%. But getting new workers on the job takes time, up to 36 months. Canada's transportation minister says he is working with NAV Canada to address the shortage, reiterating that air travel in Canada remains safe.
We take every precautionary measure and make sure that Canada continues to perform at the highest levels of security.
And that security, along with the challenging nature of this job, is reflected in the numbers. Last year, NAV Canada says they had 49,000 applicants, hiring just 500 into their training program. Heather Wright, CTV News, Toronto.
Good evening. Cloudy conditions across our region today, but temperatures on the mild side, and we actually made it above where we typically are this time of year. So warmth surging in, and it will be staying mild out there tonight. Right now in London, it's 7 degrees, Midwestern Ontario between 6 and 9 degrees. We do have some showers towards the Bruce Peninsula and some cloud cover that has made its move right across the southern Ontario. Now, as we head over the next few hours, just cloudy conditions with a 40% chance of showers. Not expecting a whole lot in the way of active weather. A lot of that's evaporating before it hits the ground, with the exception the rain is coming down towards the Bruce. Temperature will come up to about 8 degrees as we push towards midnight, and mild conditions holding strong. We are live on location tonight at the factory. The BMO Walk So Kids Can Talk in support of Kids Help Phone is coming up Sunday, May 3rd. We're kicking it off here tonight. A backstage Ben from Virgin Radio is leading the kids in Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader? Lots going on behind me. Coming up, I'll take you through the extended forecast, and of course we'll talk more about Kids Help Phone. All of that live tonight from the factory.
Thanks very much, Julie. Police in Grey County say they've renewed their search for a man missing since January. 64-year-old James Van Veen was last seen January 26th. The next day, his truck was found at Inglis Falls Conservation Area. That's where search teams resumed their efforts today, closing the conservation area to the public. Last month, family members and volunteers had searched the same area but found no evidence of Van Veen's fate. Sarnia police say they're looking for 2 suspects wanted for kidnapping and robbery. Police released these images of the weapons, which they say the suspects used to threaten someone and steal from them. They say the suspects forced the victim into a vehicle against their will, but later released them. According to police, the suspects they're looking for are 30-year-old Cole Dew and 40-year-old Brennan Erdody. They also say a 32-year-old man has been arrested and charged in this case. Canadian border agents are reporting a major seizure at the Blue Water Bridge. They say officers seized more than $4.5 million worth of illegal tobacco and nicotine vapes over a 7-day period entering Canada from the United States. No details on any arrests or charges were released, though. Middlesex County officials say after years of substantial population growth, they're now shifting their focus, trying to attract more businesses to the municipality. With more on that plan, here's Jerry Dewan.
Homes just keep going up in towns around London. Middlesex County had a population of 74,000 people in 2016, but the county estimates that could rise to 115,000 people by 2046. But a 5-year economic development strategic plan delivered to County Council on Tuesday says business growth is lagging.
While Middlesex County has experienced overall assessment growth, industrial and commercial growth has not kept pace with residential development. This imbalance has implications for long-term financial sustainability, as non-residential development generates significant assessment with comparatively lower service demands.
County Economic Development Director Cara Finn stressed the need to attract new businesses.
Residential requires quite a bit of servicing, and when we think about industrial or commercial development, it really doesn't have the same types of requirements that are needed for infrastructure. However, it provides more in terms of the tax base into the community.
Commercial developments tend to follow population, with more grocery stores, plazas, and services going to where the people are. The bigger challenge is attracting large industry. Currently, industrial lands along the southern edge of Strathroy, along the 402, are successfully attracting those businesses or seeing businesses expand. The goal is to have other Middlesex communities do the same. Finn says the county doesn't get involved in local planning or infrastructure decisions, but they do offer help.
We can put into place things like our county loan program, our new county readiness program for land, and we can really work alongside our local municipalities to attract the investment they're looking for.
Glencoe took a blow when the Cooper Standard plant closed in early 2024, but Ontario Plant has since opened greenhouse operations there, and the company is featured on the Invest in Middlesex website.
Here in Glencoe, we have our newest and most state-of-the-art facility, where it's currently 12 acres with 3
possible phase expansions for a total of 48 acres.
Ontario plant currently employs anywhere from 100 to 300 people depending on the season, and the possible expansions would grow those numbers.
We've already seen uptick in our county loan program, which has now prioritized infrastructure specifically for industrial development. We saw today another land readiness application.
Along with being a more effective way to generate tax revenues, Finn says employees in industrial plants also spend their money in the community, helping to support other businesses. Jerry DeWan, CTV News.
The Palace Theatre has announced a pause on the London Fringe Theatre Festival for this year. According to a statement posted on the website, the festival has been deeply affected by the pandemic. However, it has run Fringe festivals in recent years since the pandemic. The event was founded in the early 2000s, showcasing theatre, dance, and music. The statement indicates planning is in the works to bring the Fringe Festival back in 2027. Two local brothers living with epilepsy are being recognized for their courage. For more on their health journey and the care they've received at Children's Hospital, here's Rita Ismail.
For brothers Colton and Lachlan Earhart, their strength has been tested at a very young age.
They're incredible. They've had quite the medical journey since they were very, very little. Lachlan since he was born, Colton since he was about 6 months old.
Medication now helps 10-year-old Colton with his seizures. But for his brother Lachlan, who was diagnosed with drug-resistant epilepsy, he continues to work closely with specialists to find the right treatment. But despite the obstacles, both boys refuse to let their condition define them.
Colton plays hockey and baseball during the summer, and Lachlan, again, is so determined, and he has such a love for hockey and baseball, and we weren't sure if he could even stand up in skates, and this year he plays for his minor hockey team, and he's an incredible goalie.
And now their resilience is being recognized. Colton and Lachlan have been named the 2026 Champion Children for Children's Health Foundation.
I feel excited and also a bit nervous at the same time.
The role helps highlight the impact community donations have on healthcare and programs at the hospital.
We want people to understand the incredible work that is done at Children's Hospital, and we want to understand the incredibly important role that donors make to help make all of these things happen.
And for their mom, seeing how far her boys have come is something she once wasn't sure would be possible. Now their story is helping bring attention to the care and support available for children and their families facing serious medical conditions across the region. Rita Ismail, CTV News.
First responders in Huron County have launched a new initiative supporting kids living through emergency situations. With more on the campaign and its significance given recent events, here's Scott Miller.
Huron County has had their fair share of crashes involving kids this month. On March 4th, a school bus and transport collided south of Seaforth. 2 weeks later, at the same intersection, 2 children and an adult were seriously injured after the SUV they were in collided with another vehicle. Compassion bears may have come in handy those 2 days.
We do deal with kids that are in a difficult situation, and fire, EMS, and police are the ones that are at that scene or that collision or whatever the case may be, and we probably are the best people to hand these out and provide that comfort at that time.
250 Compassion bears are now available in Huron County police cruisers, ambulances, and fire trucks, thanks to the Seaforth Optimist Club and Seaforth Knights of Columbus. The cuddly stuffed bears are meant to be distributed to kids at fires, crashes, domestic situations, wherever and whenever they might provide a moment's comfort to a child in need of comforting.
Quite often we run into incidences with young children, the parents are injured or whatnot. Having something to give to the kids to keep their minds off the situation is very beneficial to them and to the families.
In that moment, for somebody that's going through something that probably the worst day of their life, it may be something that's that little key that helps get them through the rest of that day.
Well, the girl that started this in Waterloo, her daughter was involved in an incident when she was a child, and they had these bears on the ambulance when they came to pick her up. She's 36 years old now, and she still has hers. It's a big deal.
Costello says the two service clubs have already sent 10 compassion bears to the Ronald McDonald House in London, but the rest have been distributed to frontline emergency services personnel in Huron County.
These bears are going to reach a lot of people, you know, more than probably just Huron County.
In Seaforth, Scott Miller, CTV News.
St. Thomas Police welcomed an honorary cadet today for the first time in the force's history.
I accept this oath.
I accept this oath.
Not only as a title.
Not only as a title.
But as a promise.
But as a promise.
To inspire.
To inspire.
To uplift.
To uplift.
And to serve.
And to serve.
With honor.
With honor.
As long as I am able.
As long as I am able.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Wesley Johnson took the oath during a ceremony at police headquarters where he was given a full uniform and badge. Johnson is living with a terminal illness, and doctors have said he likely only has a few weeks left. According to police leadership, though, this was the first ceremony of its kind in St. Thomas.
When I was younger, I said I wanted to be a police officer like any other young 4-year-old. It's a big honor to be able to meet the chief of police in your hometown.
It's a special day for the police service, the community, and most importantly, Wes. You know, he showed some admiration for the police, and I'm returning that admiration and respect back to him, and we make him an honorary cadet, which is a first for our police service.
We are live tonight from the factory. We are kicking off the BMO Walk So Kids Can Talk in support of Kids Help Phone. A very important walk coming up from coast to coast on Sunday, May 3rd. We're joined by Vanessa Morgan from Kids Help Phone. Vanessa, this is a walk that is so important to so many Canadians. The need continues to grow. Talk a little bit about Kids Help Phone and that need in our communities.
Absolutely. So Kids Help Phone is 24/7 free, confidential, multilingual support for young people from coast to coast to coast across Canada. We're seeing a rise in demand for services as well as a rise in demand for need for that access for support. Last year alone in 2025, Kids Help Phone saw many interactions, 3.7 million interactions from young people. This shows that our services are more important now than ever. Young people are reaching out and they need someone to talk to, no matter the issue, big or small.
This walk coming up, as you said, reaching so many Canadians, thousands of Canadians will participate. How can people support Kids Help Phone? Where can they sign up and how can they find out more?
So BMO Walk So Kids Can Talk is Kids Help Phone Foundation's largest fundraising event of the year. We raise over $4 million that go towards our services and programs and help with that need. We really ask that people in the community, they sign up online at walksokidscantalk.ca/register. They come out to 16 sites across Canada, one being here in London, Ontario at Springbank Gardens. And if you can't participate in person, sign up virtually. There's so many opportunities to participate in your community. Sign up with coworkers, friends, family, or do the walk on your own.
All right, well, thank you so much for joining us. They are playing a fun game behind us. Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader? Police Chief Ty Trung has joined in the fun as well. Coming up, I'll take you through your extended forecast. We'll look at some rain and thunderstorms rolling in as we head into tomorrow afternoon.
Thanks, Julie. When we come back, it's the Tee Up with Brent Lail. We'll preview the opening round of the OHL playoffs between the London Knights and the Sioux Greyhounds.
Download the CTV News app and stay on top of local stories as they unfold.
We begin tonight with Ontario's latest.
Customize your feed and watch live wherever you are. CTVLondon.ca, your home for news.
For 30 years, Dream Lottery has been changing lives, making millionaires, but more importantly, supporting our amazing London hospitals. And that is what we are celebrating tonight. You can buy your tickets at dreamitwinit.ca tonight, and you're all set for all deadlines throughout the campaign. You don't even have to worry about it. Right now, we are broadcasting live from the Dorchester home. I am joined by Chris Boucher, Executive Vice President of London Health Sciences Foundation. And why would you say this lottery is so important?
Thanks, Sherry.
Dream Lottery is so important because it directly impacts patient care at our London hospitals. It funds things like advanced medical research, the training of the next generation, as well as the latest and greatest medical technology.
So very important. Go to dreamitwinit.ca. Get your ticket tonight. And hey, this dream home is open this weekend. You can come on out and check it out for yourself. Get your ticket tonight. Good luck.
Tee Up with Brent Lail is brought to you by Event Connect.
Welcome back. It's the Tee Up with Brent Lail. Brent, we're starting off on the ice. The London Nationals have forced a Game 7 in their first-round series against Stratford.
Yeah, and it's into enemy territory tonight, Carlyle, for the Nats at the rowdy Allman Arena. They've already won twice in this series in that building, and tonight they're confident they can do it again.
We want to be the villains. We want to ruin their playoffs. So I think we can do it. You know, like, again, we have faith, and we work really hard during the games, and it doesn't happen often when you can win 3 in a row, especially in a barn like that. It's small, and they know how to play in there. Their fans get really into it, so I'm really excited.
Their fans are passionate. They're good, but it also fuels us as well, so it'll be fun. I think 900 people there last time we played. Winning 2 out of 3 there as well, it was good. So we need a good performance, but I think we can get it done.
Wanting to be villains. I love that quote. We're the winner of tonight's Nationals-Warriors game. We'll take on the top-seeded Chatham Maroons in round 2. The defending Sutherland Cup champs swept St. Thomas in round 1. It was the first series sweep for the Maroons since way back in 2017 when they knocked off the Stars in 4 straight. Combine that with their 11-game win streak to end the regular season, and hey, the defending Sutherland Cup champs haven't lost since back in January. They have 8 players back from last year's squad and are looking for a repeat.
I think experience helps a lot. We have a lot of returning guys from last year, and even our younger guys had experience in Junior C. And yeah, we're all hungry for a win. So we are confident, but we're humble as well. We know playoffs is a different story than the regular season. We set ourselves up in a good spot, so we're just hoping to capitalize.
Since the trade deadline, I think we just picked up that brotherhood, and ever since that, we've been rolling. So we obviously hang out with each other outside the room, outside the rink, and we just have a lot of fun out there.
The winter high school sports season wraps up this week, Brent, with OFSA hockey and curling.
Yeah, OFSA girls hockey is in Windsor taking place right now. The STA Flames, tough start to their tournament, a pair of 1-goal losses on day 1, but they did bounce back this morning with a 9-1 win. At the curling event, the Medway Cowboys got their tournament started with an 8-2 victory in draw 1 today. And a big congrats to the Fanshawe Falcons women's basketball team. The ladies brought home silver from the Nationals. It's the first time this program has ever had a podium finish. And while the Fanshawe Falcons fell short in the final, this Cinderella season did produce 2 tournament All-Stars, and they expect to have a similar core returning next season.
A London boxer is coming home from Calgary with a national gold medal.
Yeah, 15-year-old Cassius Smith, we call him Cash Money. He went a perfect 2-0 at the Canada Cup tournament, defeating a boxer from Quebec to win the gold medal.
I knew he was a tough kid from Quebec. I knew I had like quite a bit of a reach advantage on him, so just trying to keep him on the back foot and be a bit more active than I did the day before, and just put punches together and just try and just be as active as I can. They liked aggression at this tournament, so I was just trying to kind of pursue him.
Smith is a Canadian champion just 2 years after taking up the sport. He was one of 5 fighters from Boomers Boxing Club to attend the Canadians, with 2 others winning silver and bronze. Smith believes this is what he wants to pursue for a living, and he's dedicating multiple days a week in the gym, perfecting his craft.
Watched my dad do a charity match about 2 and a bit years ago, and from there I really liked the sport, and I just dedicated a lot of time to it, like 5-6 times a week, just training in the gym, listening to my coaches, just trying to be a sponge and like take in as much information as I can and just keep working at it and fixing what I can get better at.
And finally, Brent, looking ahead to the OHL playoffs, the London Knights starting this postseason off on home ice.
Yeah, and they played great hockey down the stretch to earn that home ice in round 1. Another 40-win season for the Knights. That's so impressive. They'll host the Greyhounds Friday and Sunday, kicking off their first-round series. The London Knights feel like they've been playing playoff hockey for weeks now.
The last 2 games especially have really felt like it's taken another level, and that's the kind of hockey it's going to be like at this point of the year, so just getting ready for it is huge.
The Knights went toe-to-toe with the Sioux Greyhounds down the stretch in a battle for home ice advantage in the first round.
The last couple of games have been feel like do-or-die games.
London edged them out by 1 point on the final day, meaning the first 2 games and a potential Game 7 are at Canada Life Place.
I don't think there's anything better than being here on a Friday night with our fans behind us. So they'll give us some motivation, some more energy in our legs.
This franchise continues to impress. In a year where they traded away talent at the deadline, they still won 40 games. It's 14 straight seasons with at least 39 wins, and staff credits the veteran leadership group.
It's never fun losing best friends or guys you won with, so they pulled up their straps, they went out, and they just kept playing hockey. And then we had some tight games, we had some close wins, and they just all kept getting closer and closer together, and they did a great job getting home ice advantage.
Many of these veterans know what it's like to play into April and May.
Here's Brown going, oh, shot, he scores! Ryan Brown, shorthanded.
But for others, like newcomer Ryan Brown, they're experiencing postseason play for the first time.
This is what you dream of when you're growing up, wanting to play in the OHL, is playing in playoffs and playing in these big games. I think, yeah, playing in this rink for playoffs, I'm super excited.
Brent Leo, CTV News.
Rejoining Julie Atchison now for a look at the forecast over at the factory tonight, Julie.
Thank you so much, Carlyle. Yes, definitely lots of action going on behind me. Of course, the kids are probably winning. But what we are winning today is our forecast with some milder temperatures and feeling much more spring-like across the region. We hit a high of 9 degrees today, so normally at +6. Our low this morning, right on where we should be at -3. Conditions across our region tonight, cloudy with about a 40% chance of light rainfall. The main rain will hold off in the area until tomorrow afternoon. Right now holding at 7 degrees, and the winds easing off out of the south on the hour at 13 kilometers. As we take a look at the satellite radar, we do have some light showers towards the Bruce Peninsula. We do have a little bit of virga and some mixed precipitation north of Toronto. A lot of it, though, is evaporating before it hits the ground, so it's very light at the surface. Across the prairies, the cold weather has returned. Temperatures anywhere from -5 to a -8, and both coasts of the country right now holding above freezing, with that dome of heat continuing across the southwest U.S. Overnight, mild at 5 degrees in the Forest City, Midwestern Ontario, ranging anywhere from +2 to 4 degrees with a cold spot toward Wyerton at -2. So again, the potential for a little mixed precipitation to the north. Heading into tomorrow, cloudy through the day, and then that band of rain coming in with that front. Now, the main shower action will be dropping south of our region tomorrow evening, with the potential for some heavy thunderstorms. That looks to roll through the Ohio Valley. We're not going to rule out a thunderstorm with the passage of this cold front, just because the temperature drop will be so sharp heading into the evening. So extremely mild tomorrow at 15 as a surge of warmth comes in. Scattered showers develop in the afternoon. Looks like a bit of a steady rain for a couple hours. That probability holding at about a 70% chance. As we head into your Friday, lots of sunshine on the way, +1. Saturday, a mix of sun and cloud and 1 degree, and heading into Sunday, 7. But I did want to draw your attention to the overnight low Thursday into Friday. We dipped to -6. So we're going to go from 15 down to -6. So that's a major drop. Temperatures in the extended forecast are fluctuating significantly. In terms of early next week, I expect to see lots of changes. This time of year, things change very quickly, and some of the forecast models are indicating a major warm-up Tuesday into Wednesday, so keeping a very close eye on that. I think the temperatures may even be a tad conservative. 10 degrees in Midwestern Ontario tomorrow with light rain developing, and then the drop-off on Friday with sunshine. At the freezing mark Saturday with flurries in your forecast, especially through northern Huron, Perth, and Grey Bruce. Mix of sun and cloud on Sunday and 4 degrees, and we're up to 9 on Monday under a mix. Possibility of a rain-snow mix on Tuesday. The BMO Walk So Kids Can Talk, Sunday, May 3rd at Springbank Gardens. If you'd like to register, go to walksokidscantalk.ca. You can find all the information there. Plus, if you can't make it out to the walk, you can still join virtually, or you can donate. Again, this helps millions of Canadian children across our country, coast to coast to coast, really giving them an outlet to call someone when they need to. Now, the kids tonight having a blast behind me. I mentioned backstage Ben from Virgin Mornings, Police Chief Ty Trung also on hand. And again, the kids always win. Are you smarter than a 5th grader? Always.
Julie, thanks very much. Still ahead, new regulations in Ontario allowing your pharmacist to dispense medications for your pets.
Pure Country's big $50K payday returns tomorrow. $50,000 up for grabs.
First keyword at 6 o'clock. Liam, what would you spend 50 grand on? Go.
Oh, I'd be on a beach for at least 3 months. You wouldn't see me for days, TJ.
Manitoba is removing provincial sales tax on food and beverages sold in grocery stores. Basic items like milk, produce, meat, and bread are already exempt from the tax. The new measure will now extend those exemptions to candy, snack foods, prepared meals, and more. The change takes effect July 1st. However, it is raising concerns among health experts, making unhealthy foods more accessible. Rule changes at Ontario pharmacies now allow for pet prescriptions, a potential cost saving for animal owners. However, as Pat Foran reports, there were other factors to consider when it comes to pet medications.
Deborah Smith-Weber and Danny Weber have a multi-pet family, and some of their pets need medications. They used to get them through their veterinarian, but recently switched to a pharmacy that's now allowed to fill pet prescriptions.
How old are these puppies?
Molson is 3, he's a Bernedoodle, and Diesel is 9, and he's a Sheepadoodle.
They've noticed substantial savings over what they were paying before.
One of his medications was $200 for 20 days, and his other medication, which was a daily medication, was over $300 for a 2-month supply.
Adam Silvertown says medications can be ordered at his pharmacy or online through VetMeds.
This means that pet owners now have options, and that's probably what I have always wanted, which is give pet owners options to have another alternative of where to buy their medication.
Savings will vary depending on the drug, but could range from 10 to 50%. One example is an allergy medication for dogs.
I've saved $50 by getting it from the pharmacy here, paying the same price that all our other customers would pay, as opposed to getting it from a veterinarian. And that's just on one prescription, and he gets it multiple times a year.
In this day and age, price can be a factor for people, and it is a competitive market.
The Canadian Veterinary Medical Association is concerned that pharmacists have the proper training to dispense pet drugs and says owners will still need to see their vet before purchasing pet medications.
People also need to recognize that they will still need a prescription from their veterinarian.
They can charge a prescription writing fee, and there is no rules about how much that fee could be. And I've heard a range of anywhere from about $15 up to $50.
There may be some friction between veterinarians and pharmacists about these new changes, but Smith-Weber hopes both sides can work together to lower prices for everyone.
We certainly have a lot of empathy and compassion for those, fellow pet owners who are struggling to take care of their animals.
Pat Foran, CTV News.
North American markets rose today, even as Iran dismissed an American plan to pause the war in the Middle East. In Toronto, the TSX gained 441 points. In New York, the Dow added 305, the Nasdaq up 170. The Canadian dollar dropped 1/5 of a cent today. On commodity markets, gold gained $150 an ounce. Oil fell $2 a barrel. Later on CTV News, a historic first for the Anglican Church. A woman now officially installed as the Archbishop of Canterbury. Welcome back. Mayor Josh Morgan has abandoned a home ownership incentive program, which was the centerpiece of his State of the City address. As Daryl Newcomb reports, that the mayor has now pivoted instead after failing to convince council to get on board.
The more handcuffs you put on it, the less chance the program will have success.
Any additional criteria could certainly make this program more challenging.
Lobbyists for local home builders and developers warned a council committee against putting too many restrictions on a proposal to accelerate home ownership. That proposal was the big announcement in the mayor's State of the City address.
I've stood up here every year and made an announcement. And now that I'm at the end of the speech, you're probably thinking, is there going to be one? Well, there is.
Mayor Josh Morgan proposed covering the development charges this year on newly built homes sold below average market value. 60% of the cost would come from London's share of the Federal Housing Accelerator Fund, the rest from the London Home Builders Association.
I'm not sure we can cobble together a majority of votes at council today that would represent the original program as contemplated.
Morgan knew he didn't have enough votes to move forward without placing more restrictions on the program to convince some skeptical councillors.
There is an appetite for a program. I think we might have different opinions in terms of where that lands, but I'd like a full suite of options.
So Morgan sidestepped losing a vote by instead bringing forward a motion asking staff to report back with other options for utilizing the federal funding, like a full or partial development charge rebate or enhancing incentives for constructing additional residential units in existing homes.
Give staff the empowerment to say, come back as quick as you possibly can with some options.
As for walking away from his initial incentive program, Morgan seemed reflective.
I'll bring lots of ideas to council, but ultimately I believe in the democratic representation around this table, and I'm willing to move from my position to get wider support, which you saw me do today.
London must achieve certain housing targets to unlock the next $20 million in funding from the Housing Accelerator Fund.
We're at about 84% of our global target, and we've got about 20% of the time left. So that's tracking pretty tight, but still on track, which is why I think let's take some additional measures here.
City staff will bring back a report on April 21st. Daryl Newcomb, CTV News.
A poll commissioned by Ontario's largest public sector union has found widespread disapproval of the province's Freedom of Information changes. The poll was conducted by Abacus Data on behalf of CUPE. It found 60% of respondents opposed the changes, which would shield the Premier, cabinet ministers, parliamentary assistants, and their offices from public disclosure. 24% of respondents said they do support the change. 16% expressed uncertainty. Only 1 in 3 respondents who identified as progressive conservative voters said they support the changes, while more than half said MPPs should vote against the proposal. The Premier has argued the changes would bring Ontario in line with other provinces and the federal government. Officials at Humber Polytechnic near Toronto have announced a round of layoffs. In a letter to staff, the school's president thanked everyone who participated in a voluntary employee exit program announced last month. 3 members of Humber's senior executive team are among the departures. The president's message stated there was strong participation in the voluntary exit program, but it was not enough to address the projected fiscal gap for the upcoming school year. And that means there will be further non-voluntary staff reductions on the way. Tomorrow on CTV News, the country's largest robotics and artificial intelligence conference in the country comes to London. That's tomorrow on CTV News at 6.
For 3 decades, Dream Lottery has been delivering life-changing prizes and life-saving care. Every ticket sold helps fund advanced medical equipment, enhanced patient care, and groundbreaking innovation at our amazing local London hospitals. This year, there's 2 grand prize dream homes, including this one. We are in Dorchester, built by Duncan Harwood Custom Homes. And joining me dreaming away in this dream home is Scott Fortnum, Vice President, CEO of Children's Health Foundation. Scott, 30 years of dream lotteries. Like, that's huge.
30 years, more than $66 million raised. What an impact Dreams had on healthcare in our community. Let's do it again.
Let's keep it rolling, because every ticket certainly does change a life. It could change yours, too, if you end up winning the grand prize. A choice between 2 gorgeous dream homes or $1 million cash. Get your ticket tonight. Good luck.
Manitoba's premier says President Donald Trump is directly responsible for higher gas prices, accusing him of fueling the war in Iran to distract from the Epstein files.
We had $1.07 gasoline before Trump decided to try and distract from the Epstein files. Now we got $1.73 gas in the city of Winnipeg. So, I mean, should we starve provincial resources that we're going to go use to add 4,000 healthcare workers, as we announced today, or a new emergency room? Or should we just go to the cause of our economic problems, which is Donald Trump and his terrible war in Iran? Like, there is such a thing as a just war. This is not a just war. This is a dumb war. It needs to stop. That would help people with the cost of living.
Manitoba Premier also said Trump had no reason for the conflict, and the best way to lower gas prices is to stop the war in Iran. The first woman to lead the Church of England celebrated her historic election win today in the UK. Sarah Mullally was installed as Archbishop of Canterbury during a ceremony in Canterbury Cathedral. The 63-year-old former nurse formally assumed the role in January. Today's event marks the beginning of her public ministry as head of the church and leader of the worldwide Anglican Communion, which has more than 100 million members. The nominations have been announced for the 2026 Canadian Screen Awards. The hockey streaming hit Heated Rivalry is up for 18 awards, including Best Drama. The most nominations went to the Canadian comedy series North of North, with 20 nominations.
When people ask where I'm from, I say think of the furthest place north you've ever been. Now keep going.
In the film categories, 40 Acres leads with 10 nominations. The award show airs May 31st on multiple stations and platforms, including CTV and Crave, which are each divisions of Bell Media.
London's top stories.
We have breaking news tonight out of Ottawa. The latest in the
breaking news alerts.
I'm tracking an area of severe weather. It'll start.
And watch live.
A development now to a story from City Hall we brought you.
Download the CTV News app.
Welcome back. Finally tonight, the latest super tall skyscraper transforming Toronto's skyline. With more on the now tallest of them all, here's Beth McDonnell.
Take a look at the view from the edge, then down. It's the same height as the main observation deck of the CN Tower. Pinnacle Sky Tower goes even a bit higher than that, reaching a total elevation of 352 meters. CTV News Toronto took a tour with Anson Kwok, the VP of Sales and Marketing, and architect Nadine El-Ghazar. First up, going up 99 floors in an elevator.
It's a bit narrow here, so just watch your shoulders.
We then climb flights of stairs inside the tower's tapered upper floors to unfinished sections where workers are still busy building, and the top.
I love coming up here, actually. To see it in real life is very satisfying, and obviously you can see it from almost anywhere in the city now, so it's really kind of gratifying.
It was immediately apparent that this was a monumental project, not only because of its height, which of course is amazing, but also its impact on the skyline.
A super tall skyscraper must be 300 meters high. That's the equivalent to about 3 city blocks. And right now, Toronto is in a super tall skyscraper boom. There are at least 9 super talls in the works or rising in Toronto, including One Bloor West at 85 stories, the country's first super tall building. Pinnacle also has a sister 95-story building being planned next to Sky Tower.
In Toronto, we kind of stopped at around 60 stories for a long time, and now we're over 100. So it's having that vision. And with the city with still trying to battle transit and traffic, having more people live close to their workplace is really was the original goal.
The team is excited and proud to reach this point of construction. Planning for Sky Tower began in 2012. Its 12-sided polygon with white metal framing is meant to evoke a 12-sided jewel.
To design and build a tower that is distinct but maintains its elegance in the skyline was really something that was important to us.
A restaurant is being planned for the 106th floor. A hotel is making up the first 12 floors, and residential units up to the 56th floor are expected to be ready this fall. Beth McDonnell, CTV News.
And that's it for us. Thanks for watching. For your latest local headlines, you can always head to our website. I'm back tonight with your late news at 11. Bye for now.